What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. NBA Talk with Jay. Wednesday, NBA Talk with Jay, man. Game one of the Western Conference Finals, man. Hell of a game last night, man. Crazy game. I'm in the sports book. Everybody rooting for Pacers money line. It's a really crazy game, man. But definitely Celtics definitely deserved to lose that game, but they won. But we'll go over that tomorrow's game. But this is the Western Conference today, man. It's Wednesday. Hope everybody out there living well, living healthy. You know what I'm saying? Doing everything you have to do, man. Take care of your business, man. It's all love. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you like the show, if you appreciate the info, all that good stuff, man, hit the like button one time for one time. You become a member if you want. You don't have to. You see what I'm saying? But whatever you guys like to do, man, it's all love. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Everybody in the chat popping off already. Mario says he needs a winner. Keep your money in your pocket, my guy. That's a guaranteed lock winner. Keep your money in your pocket. That's the only way that you're gonna guarantee a win, my guys. It's people funny as hell, man. A lot of young people as well. Hey, I need a win today, man. I need to pay my shit, man. All right, keep the money in your pocket, man. I just want to say, like, the playoffs are hard, but so betting in general is hard, guys. Betting on the playoffs, especially the further as it gets, it's hard. I just want to let people know that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a guy that I place a lot of money on some of these games, man. The further it gets into the playoffs, unless a team is like down 0-2 or something like that, there's not really like hammer spots, man. Like these lines are tight as hell. Especially like when you like talking about laying double digits and shit like that. Games could get close. Team could be up 15, 20. You know what I'm saying? And fuck around, lose the game or just be up 5. So I just wanted people let people know that like it's obviously this is hard. This is betting, this is gambling, but as further it gets on into the playoffs, so a lot of people don't even watch the show now. It's like shit, I'm just gonna watch and enjoy shit. This shit is hard, man. It's not easy, my guys. It's hard it becomes harder and harder with every round. In the finals, it's probably the hardest it can get. You see what I'm saying? So just wanted to remind people that, man. But let's get into this game here. Let's go over to the streets of Minnesota in this one. Wolves laying 4.5 at the house versus the Mavs in this one. A lot of people asking me, oh, you obviously, I mean, I'm not a fan of any team, but I did used to live in Dallas. I lived in Dallas for 25 years. Obviously, I do have a little bit of homer in me for the Mavs. Like, I want them to win. That doesn't mean that I'm going to. So I'm saying, I'm not gonna lie. I did put something on them plus 1.5 for the series, minus 135. You know what I'm saying? So that's like one of those where it's like, I'd like for them to win. That's something I did personally as well. That's like just me personally. It's not something that people have to take. That's just me, like personal, like as a fan betting. Obviously, I'd like to see them in the finals. I'd like to. So, but minus 135, getting plus 1.5 games. If it goes to game 7, I win regardless. You see what I'm saying? Obviously, if they win the series, I win as well, man. So, and if they lose this game, that plus 1.5 might even turn to plus money as well. So, but what I've been doing in these series when I'm taking a series bet, you kind of have to put something on a pre-series just in case the Mavs do win game 1, which wouldn't surprise me a bit as well. But let's get out to the matchup here, man, because you have the best defensive team in the league going up against one of the best offensive teams. Obviously, the Mavs aren't like the Pacers, but when Kyrie still hadn't showed up, you still got Luka, you got PJ Washington hit threes, and you still got Tim Hardaway Jr. coming off the bench as well. They could possibly hit some threes as well. And you know what? I like Hardaway Jr. tonight. He's going to have to go over his 5.5 points if the Mavs want a chance to hang with these guys. Wolves starting 5, Jay McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, like even Karl-Anthony Towns is kind of trying to get a little bit of dog in them. These guys have the defensive lineup that can really stifle the Mavs. I'll keep it straight up with you. You see what I'm saying? So the Mavs, like obviously PJ Washington is going to have to hit those threes. He's going to have to be big for them because remember, the Wolves have 3 bigs. They got Naz Reid, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert. Mavs only got 2, and Gafford is like, he's like 6'10". He's kind of like a small big out there. Lively's going to have to be huge for them off the bench. They might even get to the point where I'm not going to say where they got to start Lively and Gafford, but they might have to switch back to where Lively can start because I feel like Gobert might be a little too much for Gafford. And PJ Washington is going to have to play big versus Karl-Anthony Towns. You see what I'm saying? I worry, what are they going to do about Naz Reid coming off the bench? He's a horrible fucking I'll tell you straight up. He's a horrible matchup for the Mavs, which he's a horrible matchup for a lot of teams because he's a big, he can rebound, he can get down low, get the ball on the block. He can shoot threes as well, and he stays out there. So say if you got Lively coming off the bench, say if they got Naz Reid running like the center off the bench, and then they got Lively guarding him. That's gonna leave the paint wide open. Either Lively got to stay halfway and Nasri can get open threes, or he can has to stay close to Nasri. Then the fucking paint wide open. So I'm really gonna be interested. I'm not gonna lie to you. Game one is always a fill out process, as it was yesterday for the Celtics. You see them get out to a 12-0 run. It's like, okay, we finna smoke them. Then it's like, damn, the Pacers, like, they really surprised them with how their depth, like guys coming off the bench. You see what I'm saying? How fast they played, how hard they played. That really surprised the Celtics, man. So I do think, like, with the it's kind of crazy, man, because the Mavs, the Wolves defense is gonna surprise them. It's a light years different from the Thunder, but I can't say Thunder had more shooters than the Wolves. The Thunder had a little bit better offense than the Wolves. I know everybody loves the Wolves. I know they think that they're going to win the championship, all that. The Wolves are a really great defensive team. That's how they win games, guys, with defense. Offensively, they're not the greatest team. We know that Gobert is not going to be hitting turnaround fadeaway shots and shit like that. Karl Anthony Towns, he's a great offensive player. Anthony Edwards, phenomenal offensive player. You see what I'm saying? He still, sometimes he can get a little stagnant with the ball, but like Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, phenomenal offensive players. Jay McDaniels, he's a defense first type of guy. Rudy Gobert, defense first type of guy. You see what I'm saying? So, like they have, and Michael Conley, he's a great offensive player as well. He's getting up there in age. He kind of be hit or miss, but Wolves have a really great defense. But like I say, the Mavs, it'll be a little bit, I'm not gonna say easier, because it's but like offensively, they don't have to worry about, like, the Thunder had 5 guys out there that could knock down threes. You see what I'm saying? Even coming off the bench, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, like these guys had the Case and Wallace. They had like literally everybody in the game could shoot threes, kind of, you know what I'm saying? Maybe other than Giddy, the Hydra kids over there, but some real shit though. But it's a really conflicting styles. Mavs are going up against a much better defense, a little bit worse offense, whereas the Wolves are going against a little bit worse defense, which the Mavs can still play some defense, but the offense is like maybe even just as good, maybe even better than the Nuggets. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even better than the Nuggets. I know that they got Jokic over there, but remember, KCP wasn't giving a whole lot. Jamal Murray was super banged up. Michael Porter Jr. was nowhere to be found some of those games until they had to figure things out. But this is what I'll say. The game will go how the refs call it, guys. Remember what happened in game 2. This is how you look at the Wolves. They're the best defensive team when they're able to beat you up and play like that Rucker Park style type of basketball where you can't get shit. You see what I'm saying? And they're beating you up full court. Nobody's going to beat them. You see what happened versus the Nuggets. Game 1, game 2. Refs didn't call shit. And then what happened? Game 3, game 4, game 5, when they were calling all the ticky-tack fouls on the Wolves, guys getting in foul trouble, and they weren't allowed to play you super close, super tight. Guys like Naz Reid, guys like Jaden McDaniels as well. So it's really simple. I think that you kind of watch the game and see how it's called, man. Because if they're allowing the Wolves to play their defense and not calling fouls, Luka's going to get frustrated. The Mavs won't be able to do shit on offense, and the Wolves will absolutely clamp them down. But on the other end, if they're calling ticky-tack fouls, I think you're going to be able to see the script. If they're calling those ticky-tack fouls for Luka, they let you know right there that they want to see the Mavs in the conference finals. Man, I really do think it's that simple, my guys. So it's a really tough game. Game 1, filling out process. 2, really conflicting styles. You see what I'm saying? You bet whatever you want, man. You see what I'm saying? You bet whatever you want. Wolves are coming off game 7. Usually it's a fade spot, teams coming off game 7, but it's even more when it's, in my opinion, when it's only one day of rest. But I mean, shit, we even saw the Pacers come out there and they only had one day off, game 7, tough series. And they came out there and gave the Celtics every fucking thing they could handle. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I know the Wolves. The Wolves are the type of team, like they might get home and be a little bit fat and happy. Like there was a huge series for them, knocking off the champs. I could expect a little bit of a letdown for the Wolves here. I'm not gonna lie. If I had what I would like to play in this game would be Mavs first quarter. I feel like that's their best chance to try to come out here and surprise the Wolves with their offense. Luka got to hit some threes. Obviously, Kyrie has to play a lot better. They're a little bit more rested as well. 1 extra day of rest. They got 3 days of rest as well. Ended their series in 6, whereas Wolves coming out, they just sent the champs home. You can't tell me that that's not like a huge speed bump like to overcome for the Wolves. I can see these guys coming back to the house, getting patted on the back. You know what I'm saying? Everybody riding their winker. You see what I'm saying? I can see them being a little bit fat and happy, even though this is the Western Conference Finals, and we've seen them kind of come out slow repeatedly sometimes in this series as well, man. So I do feel like Mavs plus the 1.5. Let me see what the number is. I do feel like that, like if I had one side in this game, it would be Mavs. So it's +1 for the first quarter. I do feel like Mavs +1 in the first quarter would be a really good look in this game, guys. But like I say, Nas Reed over his points, over his PRA as well would be a really good look in this one. I don't know who's going to guard him for the Mavs, you know what I'm saying, off the bench. I do think that like Derrick Jones Jr. is a lockdown defender. Like he may be able to give Ant a run for his money. Ant is Ant, and he's gonna ball out. You see what I'm saying? But like Derrick Jones Jr., my guy is that I'm telling you this, he's a long, lengthy type of guy. No homo, no diddy. You see what I'm saying? No, none of that shit. But Derrick Jones Jr. is like, he's a really great defender, and he's gonna be on Anthony Edwards. And like I said, you see how the game is called, and obviously they're gonna try to now. Ant's gonna do pick and roll. He's gonna want Luke on him. I'm telling you that right now. That's what I would do. You know what? No, set that pick. Set that pick. Come bring your ass over here, Luka. I got something for you. So it's gonna be interesting to see. And if I'm Luka, I'm running from Ant. No, I do not want that smoke. I do not want it. And obviously, you hope that Luka don't get in quick foul trouble. But I think it's real simple. The game is going to go how the refs call it, man. If they're calling the ticky-tack fouls for the Wolves and the Mavs are allowed to like play their offense, Wolves won't have a chance, in my opinion, especially like for game one. But I was really hoping that Scott Foster was reffing this game. I'll just let you in on a little secret here. Scott Foster does not like Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert might be the new Chris Paul for Scott Foster. I'm just telling you that right now. It's just a little bit of info. In any game in this series that Scott Foster is reffing, I will bet against the Wolves with confidence. I was hoping he was in there today. I was going to definitely bet the Mavs. Hadn't bet a side on this game. I hadn't even bet the first quarter yet, guys. I'm not even going to lie to you. So I'm saying I heavily lean towards Mavs in the first quarter. But I do like Mavs plus 1.5 for the series. If they do lose this game, their price will get even better, and I'll probably hop on it again. Obviously, if they do win this game, you'll never see that price again for Mavs plus 1.5, or even to win the series. So it could be whoever you think is going to win the series. You probably have to take them in game one just off principle, because that's how you think the series is going to go. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the squares, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it's because a lot of people are going to take the Wolves too. A lot of people are going to take the Wolves and already like putting them into the finals after they beat the Nuggets. I don't think it's that simple, man. Just to let you know how I see it, I don't know, man. Wolves never won a championship, so I mean, they could be like a big market for there, but like we do know the Dallas is a bigger market like for the NBA, and like they love Luka. You know what I'm saying? He has like overseas money coming in, all that type of shit. So me personally, I'd like to see Mavs in the finals. I think the NBA would like to see the Mavs in the finals, but I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna lie to you. The Wolves, they have the better overall team. And the last thing I'll say, I've watched it. So this was way before the Mavs turned into the Mavs, and they got PJ Washington Gafford. These two teams played in Slovenia, two games in the preseason. Mavs went. I mean, the Wolves defense like absolutely fucking smothered these guys. I'm talking about smothering. They beat them 3-1 in the regular season as well. A couple of those games, Luka didn't play as well. One of them, I believe, Luka and Kyrie didn't play. But I don't think the Wolves have seen this version of the Mavs, and that's why it could be a surprise to them. But I know that the Wolves defense could like absolutely smother these guys if they want to, and if they're allowed to by the refs. So scary ass series, especially for me as a Mavs fan, but with everybody telling me the Wolves are locked and shit like that, that kind of gives me hope. Because usually when people are like all the way on one side, you almost more times than none that underdog team goes through. And I feel like if the Wolves were locked, they'd be like more like minus 250, minus 300 in this series. You know what I'm saying? So I do give the Mavs a puncher's chance, and that's why I'm taking them plus 1.5 for the series. We'll see. Nothing would surprise me here. If the Wolves won in 6, wouldn't surprise me. If the Mavs won in 6, wouldn't surprise me whatsoever, man. So obviously I'm rooting for the Mavs. It's a little bit of fandom in there, but you got to notice, guys, when people are fans of teams and they're just going with it just because they're a fan, like you never take that shit into account, guys. And I'm coming on here telling you straight up, I'm a fan of the Mavs, and I have a little bit of bias that way. You see what I'm saying? So, but I also know basketball, and I know the Wolves have the size advantage. They have the rebound advantage. Nas Reed is a fucking matchup nightmare for a lot of teams, but especially Mavs until they get Maxi Kleber back as well. So it's going to be a really great game, guys. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be a great game, great series. Can't wait to watch it. These are my leans on the game. My top looking at game would be Mavs first quarter plus 1. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. over 5.5 points, plus 105 off the bench. He has to come in here and give these guys some production. If he's not hitting his shots or not even like getting to the basket or getting some, he got to hit at least 1 3 or 2, and he's got to get to the basket and try to get some foul calls. Tim Hardaway Jr. has to be huge for the Mavs in this series. I think that's a good look. Naz Reid over 9.5 points, over 15.5 PRA. I don't know who the Mavs are going to have to try and stop him. I'm telling you straight up. He's a matchup nightmare. And I would maybe even like look at Naz Reid like 3+3s. Because if he's going to be on that wing, I don't know who they're going to have to fuck with him, man. But over 9.5 points obviously would be a better look. But I'm pretty sure like getting 3+3s would be a really nice look, man. Go with what you know, my guys. Like it's nothing to it to deep dive into this game and feel and see what you like even better here. You see what I'm saying? So you can listen to me, but it's a lot of different ways to attack this game. If you like the Wolves, don't let me talk you off. I'll never really lay points with a team coming off of game 7. I don't give a damn who they are. That's never something I'm gonna do. I'll keep it straight with you. The Wolves they're probably the better overall team than the Mavs, definitely, mainly because defense and in playoffs, defense matters, especially when it comes to the half court. But this is going to be Luka versus Ant, whichever one really shows out in this one. Obviously, they got Jay McDaniels and Anthony Edwards that they could throw at Luka or Kyrie, and then they do have the Mavs have Derrick Jones Jr. that they can throw at Anthony Edwards as well, man. So it's some lockdown defenders in this game, man. Let me peek at the chat, man. I know a lot of people hating this shit, but I don't really care like what people think. You take what you know what I'm saying, what you know, my guys. So like I say, it's your money, my guys. AJ says Dallas money line. Jay, let's fucking go. He said I like Luka over rebounds and under the game tonight. Jordan likes Dallas on the money line. Let me see. Timberwolves and Jennifer likes Timberwolves and Fever to win. Okay, yeah, you think the Fever gonna win? All right. I like your style. Kyrie type of player to get Gobert in foul trouble is very possible. And like I say, see how the game is real. A couple quick early fouls on whichever team, and you're gonna see I think you're gonna see the script real soon here, man. I really think it's that simple, guys. Thoughts on Mark Davis, Jay? I looked at it. I didn't like the way I do look at the refs as well. I look into them deep, and I'm telling you this: when Scott Foster is in there, the Wolves will lose, and he might be in here a couple games in this series. But yeah, I looked at Mark Davis. The Mavs, they were like what 7-2 straight up in their last 9 games ref with Mark Davis. Wolves have won 5 straight with Mark Davis, and he was in their game 6 as well when the Wolves smacked up the Nuggets by 45 points, man. But not really much thoughts on Mark Davis. I gotta watch him closely, to be honest with you. I gotta watch him a little bit more closely. Mark Davis has been good for the Mavs. Mark Lindsley has not been good for the Mavs, or the Wolves for that matter. Kevin Scott has been good for the Mavs, not so well for the Wolves there. So the refs in this game kind of tell me that I lean Mavs here. Guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Garrett says, what about Fever +6? I didn't bet any WNBA today. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yesterday was a really good day. I didn't bet any WNBA today, to be perfectly honest. So Storm in a bad spot. That's a fact. They are a much better team than the Fever, but it is a horrible spot, to be perfectly honest with you. GC says, Jay, take Wolves full money line tonight, live bet or points. Definitely a great live bet game for sure. If they play Nas and Cat together, it's a wrap for the Mavs. It's a fact. AJ says Fever gets their first win tonight. Okay, all right, I can't talk you off. Chad says game 7 letdown. I could definitely see it. I could definitely see that, my guy. Rizzo says proud of you, J Money. Keep up spreading the knowledge. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, my brother. Let me see. Kyrie played 1 game and Luka played 2 games versus Wolves this season. That's a fact, LJ. Ant and Halliburton. Let me see. Mavs not beating the Wolves. They don't have enough perimeter defense. Okay. We'll see, my guy. We'll see. Jay, how are you a fan of Luka? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm a fan of the Mavs. Luka's a great player. I just wish he wouldn't be talking to the refs and shit. Like, how many times have you seen Luka like in one game fucking crying to the refs, bitching at the refs like they're gonna change a call, won't even get back on D. Like, don't get me started on Luka's bum ass, man. He's a great offensive player. Defensively, he's gonna have to lock in because they're gonna target his ass every single play, and he can't be arguing at the refs. That's what I'm saying. If he's not getting his calls, he's pouting. How many times you seen him hop up? He's like a mini LeBron James, hopping up and down like a little kid, throwing a temper tantrum, man. Won't even get back on defense, still talking to the refs. Dribbling the ball over half court, still talking to the fucking refs. It makes me absolutely sick. That's the only part that I don't like about the Mavs. He's got to get better with that shit, man, or trade his ass. Get 3 players or something for his ass, man. But that's just a little tangent right there hopefully we don't see that. But like I said, if they're allowing I'll say this again, if they're allowing the Wolves to play defense and Luka's not getting those ticky-tack fouls, it's gonna be a long fucking series for the Mavs, guys. I'll tell you that straight up. Jay McDaniels is an absolute shutdown defender. He will be on Luka, and then like I say, Derrick Jones Jr. will be on Anthony Edwards as well, man. So we'll see what happens. Great series, guys. Like I say, man, this is a conference finals. Like shit's hard right now, man. Like if you don't even want to bet these games, just sit back and enjoy them. I can't talk you off. This shit is gonna be hard. So this series is a true 50-50 series, my guys. So this shit's hard, guys. I know people want to bet, they want to make money. There's no locks in this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is hard, man. I'll tell you straight up. I do this for a living. Around these times, I kind of just sit back and watch the games, make a few small bets, but like I'll have bigger players on WNBA these days. You see what I'm saying? Than the NBA conference finals, guys. So just let you know, man. It's all love, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Once again, my top looks for the game would be, and I'll probably end up sprinkling all these shits. I don't give a damn. But just some sprinkles. Mavs first quarter plus the 1. I do lean their way for the full game. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just mainly because Wolves coming off that game 7. But Tim Hardaway Jr. over 5.5 points coming off the bench for the Mavs. He's gonna need to be huge. I lean towards Anthony Edwards under his points. I really do. I lean towards under his points in this particular game. Nas Reed over his points. Absolute matchup nightmare for the Mavs, especially without them having Maxi Kleber. Nas Reed is a fucking nightmare for them. 9.5 points, 15.5 PRA. Nas Reed should get there tonight, my guys. But I'll watch the game. I'll dissect it. Have some even better looks for next game, my guys. But that's the show, man. It's all love. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Remember, bet whatever you love, my guys. I'm a bit of a Mavs fan, so I have a little bit of bias. I'll tell you straight up. Most people won't even fucking tell you that shit. You see what I'm saying? I tell you straight up, man. So, but if the Wolves are the better overall team, I'll tell you that. But Mavs have the better offense. Wolves have the better defense. See how the game is called? Can't talk you off making a live bet as well. Somebody's going to get a couple quick early fouls in this game. And I think that might tell us everything we need to know, my guys. So let's see how the game is ref. If they're letting them play, that definitely favors the Wolves there, guys. It's the same thing versus the Nuggets. It's the same thing, my guys. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's all love. Best of luck, whatever you're betting. I got to get out of here. It's all love. Let's get this catch. I hope everybody has a great day, man. Watch the games. Enjoy the games, man. Don't stress too much over this shit. You see what I'm saying? It's the conference finals. Betting is hard. It's all love, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hit the like button one time for the one time. You can join the channel as a member if you like. You don't absolutely have to. Matter of fact, please don't. Please don't join the channel as a member, man. You can hit the like button, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We out. Let's go.